Hi, I'm Steve Smith with HillBilly Mojo, and today we're going to show you how to cook a great pork butt. It's actually a pork shoulder, but they call it pork butt. We've got HillBilly Mojo red and black here, along with some HillBilly Mojo smoked sea salt. It's hickory smoked, great stuff, coarse ground stuff. First thing we want to do is you want to trim this thing down to get some of this external fat out, because sometimes you can get one of these that's got a big sheet of fat on one end. Well, when these things get to cooking, they stall, and that's a result of all the fat in the meat. So if you want to help reduce that stall some, try to get rid of maybe some of the fat, and you can do that by cutting off that great big sheet of fat right there. So we're going to trim that off, and we'll be right back. Okay, now we have a nice clean pork butt, and we're ready to season it up with our HillBilly Mojo. We're going to go with HillBilly Mojo Black. That's going to put a nice crust on there. You see, the HillBilly Mojo Black, it's made with a lot of coarse ground stuff. It's made with coarse ground smoked salt. It's made with coarse ground pepper and many other various different seasonings that bring together just the perfect mix for basically anything that you want a good bark on, like a brisket or a pork butt. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go with the spoon side, and I'm just going to get some material on there, rub it in, get it good and involved with that meat, and create something so it'll have a beautiful bark. And that pork butt, you know, a lot of people want to brush some olive oil things on there. You can do that, but this stuff's sticky enough and moist enough that you pretty much is oily enough. It'll take that rub on for you and stick just fine, just like it is. So you see, we're going to be very liberal with it. Make sure we got plenty good buildup of HillBilly Mojo Black on here. That stuff is just amazing when it crusts over after the thing's been in the glorious and magical smoke and heat for hours and hours. It's going to be so good. You're going to love it. You're going to try this at home. HillBilly Mojo Black is what we're using. And we know we also have the red, and we also have the smoked sea salt. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to throw a little, I'm just going to grind in a little of that smoked sea salt. There's some in there, but just a little extra gives it just that little extra texture, because that coarse ground salt with that smoky flavor, it's just unbelievable. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put this on the fire. Other end of the fire. You know, I use a firebox on my pit. We're going to put it on the other end of the fire from the firebox. Going to try and make the temperature in that cooking zone about 225 degrees. We're going to try to leave it that way for 12 hours. I know that's a long time, but that is the key to success. Then we're going to put a thermometer in there. We're going to pop it right in there, and when it hits 205, absolutely perfect. Snatch it out of there at 205. It'll fall apart for you. Makes great pulled pork or various other things that you want to do with it. So we got the pork butt, got it on the fire, keeping it nice and low and slow. Gonna cover it up here pretty soon. Right now I've got it opened up so that we can they can have good exposure to the smoke and start developing that good bark and breaking down the collagen inside, the fat and connective tissue. 205 is where all that breaks down. Internal temperature is where all that stuff breaks down. So all that connective tissue is going to go away, and it's just going to be a beautiful pull apart pork butt. Now, to keep it from drying out, I'm going to use some of the old HillBilly Mojo grilling mist. So as it starts to kind of get a little dry, we're just going to give it a little squirt, a little spritz there. This is some great stuff. I invite you to try it sometime. It'll keep your briskets and anything that you're grilling, help keep them from drying out, keep them good and moist and ready for the grill. So next up, we're going to go ahead and cover this thing up with some foil and let it spend the rest of its cook time on the fire in the magic smoke. Hey fellow Americans, I'm Steve Smith with HillBilly Mojo Provisions. It's about to be Father's Day. Check out this little gift packet that we're putting together, great for Dad on the grill. We have got hickory smoked sea salt. We smoked it ourselves, 12 hours of smoke, robust, flavorful stuff. All natural, real smoke. We've got HillBilly Mojo Black. Makes the best crust and bark on a brisket or a pork butt or whatever you're cooking out there. Absolutely, it's a very coarse ground, very robust and smoky flavor. You're gonna love it. HillBilly Mojo Red. It's a little finer grind, a little more chili flavor. Also has a hint of Italian herbs and spices in there. Great for pork, great for all kinds of things. Try this gift pack. Go to HillBillyMojo.com where you can find this gift pack. It'll depends on when you're watching this video as to whether or not you will go to our Facebook page, at which you can click on our shop. Visit HillBillyMojo.com and stay wild and free. Okay, now after the magical smoke and heat and time, our pork butt is ready. We pulled it off the grill. Let's open it up. Oh my goodness, look at that. And notice the just beautiful, thick, and dark bark that HillBilly Mojo Black gave us. That is just the best thing in the world. When you cut off those burnt ends, oh my goodness, those taste awesome. Now remember, the thing with these pork butts is that they do have a lot of fat and connective tissue. That's a lot of moisture inside there. That moisture creates a situation known as stall. So while you're waiting for your pork butt to get to that 205 that you need it to melt all that collagen down and various materials inside there, while you're waiting on that, sometimes it may seem like it just hangs up at 185, 145, 150, somewhere, and it just won't cross that line. Hang in there. Hang in there. It will eventually get there. That's where that 12-hour figure comes in. Now, we removed that sheet of fat, and that kind of helped reduce our stall. In fact, we didn't get a stall on this one, but I usually do. Whenever you get that stall, some people do what's called the crutch. You wrap it in aluminum foil, and it'll help permeate that heat through the thing, and sometimes help it move on and cross that line and get on up to that 205. There's some cooks that say, oh, you shouldn't do that. There's some say you should. I say you do what makes you feel good and makes your food taste good. But this one is just great. Yours will be too. Why don't you visit HillBillyMojo.com, get you some HillBilly Mojo Black, Red, and smoked salt, whatever else you need. We got it. But thank you so much for joining us. We really enjoy sharing what we do with you. We want you to love your grilling and love your life. And you know what? Stay wild and free.